Thanks for joining me. We are on Unit 7, Lesson 2. Looks like I have Maya in here. Awesome. So, let's get started. We are shifting functions, so moving left, right, up, and down. We've done it with quadratics. You did it a little bit with I miss you too. You've done it with absolute value functions in Algebra 1, but we're going to apply it to pretty much any function. I do have to make one little edit, though. On this first one, I didn't make my graph big enough, so we're going to change this to g of x equals the absolute value of x plus 4 before I forget to do that. So first, we are going to graph the original function f of x equals absolute value of x on our grid. So that's just going to go straight out in both directions. Ooh, so glad there's like a line corrector on here. I do not draw very good straight lines. Whee. We'll see each other again someday, Maya. Or if you zoom me, you could really see me like every day. So that is our function. F of x is the absolute value of x. All right. So let's graph f of x equals absolute value of x plus 4. Now, some of you may remember graphing this a couple of years ago. So you might even be able to predict what happens to it, like how does it move from the parent function. So this f of x is really the parent function of absolute value functions, and then everything else that's different is a shift. So let's graph g of x on the same grid. So you can look at your table of values, but all it's saying is take those x values and add 4 to them. So it's really shifting up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's not changing the width. It's just sliding it up. Oops, I didn't hold that one down. There we go. So this is our g of x. X plus 4. So it shifts up 4. Oh, we have 7 viewers now. Who else is in here? Justine, Madison. Awesome. Hello. All my ladies are showing up. All right. And then we have h of x is absolute value of x minus 5, all in the bars. So when something's outside of the bars, it's going to shift up or down. But when something's inside the bars, it's going to move left or right. And if you remember with quadratics, when we were looking at that vertex form, when it was in the parentheses, that x value was opposite. So this is going to be the same thing. Even though it's minus, instead of going left 5, it's actually going to shift right 5. So just like with vertex form. So all I'm going to do is move all these points to the right 5 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. What was that? H of x. Awesome. So without even using a calculator, we want to figure out what is happening with j of x. We have j of x equals absolute value of x plus 1, and then minus 4 on the outside. So inside here, this x plus 1, that's going to be going either left or right, and we go the opposite sign. So since it's plus, we are going to go left 1. And then with this minus 4, that is going to go down 4. So I don't really need to graph any of these to be able to tell how is it changing with the parent function. It's always helpful, and you're more than welcome to look at it in your graph, but you don't have to. So let's just write down some rules. So a horizontal shift is always going to occur on the inside, and it will be the opposite direction of what you think. So when it's minus, it's going to go right, and when it's plus, it's going to go left. And then with horizontal, it occurs on the outside. And it's the same. So if it's plus, I should actually write this down. So if we have plus, it goes up, minus, it goes down. And I'll add in some more details here. So for this one, if it's minus, it goes right. If it's plus, it goes left. So if you're writing these notes by hand and not in the sheet, this box is what you need to know. Right here. Super duper important. So make sure you get that written down. Or you may have memorized it from years past. Very possible. All right. So sometimes we're not just going to be given a nice pretty function like absolute value or quadratic or cubic, whatever. They're just going to give us a general one like we have down here. So it says the function of f of x is shown on the grid below. And a second function g is defined by the following transformation. F of x minus 3 and then plus 1. What is the value of g of 0? And how can we identify the solution? So g of 0 is f of 0 minus 3 plus 1. So I'm just using, there we go. Sorry, my husband's iPad. I'm just using the function from above. And then we're going to simplify. So I get f of negative 3 plus 1. So if I go f of negative 3, well, this is my function f. I'm going to go left 3 and see where it hits. It's at positive 1. And then I have to add 1. So we get a value of 2. So if we want to graph this like we did above, we want to identify how is it shifting. So I don't want to have to just plug in all these points algebraically. That's just like, ugh. No one wants to do that. So it says graph g of x. So if I'm just going to rewrite this function again. In parentheses, we said it's opposite. So this means it's going to go right 3. And then on the outside, it's going to be the same. So up 1. So if you're taking notes, this part B is what I really care about. So we are going to go right 3, up 1. So that's what we're going to do on our picture. So we're going to go, I'm going to use just kind of these starting and ending points. I don't want to do every little obnoxious one. That's just annoying. So we're going to go, what did I say, right 3? So right 3, up 1. Right 3, up 1. So these two are going to connect. And then right 3, up 1. Oh, that's a crooked line if I've ever seen one. That one didn't even want to go straight. It was like, you did not even do this mildly close. And then right 3, up 1 for the last. There we go. Awesome. So, and there you have it. That is our g of x. How are we doing so far? Any questions for me? Just want to say hi. Side note, before I forget, I did post a fun little meme challenge in Teams. So post a funny math meme or a math joke. Just to, kind of brighten everybody's week. It's kind of gloomy with all the rain and such. All right. So if you want me to scooch back up, just let me know and I will. It says if there is a function, f of x, where x minus 2 squared plus 5 is shifted to the left 4 and down 3, then what is our new function? Okay. So we want to go left 4 and down 3. So remember, inside the parentheses is always opposite. Clicking the color I want. Come on, iPad. There we go. All right. So if I'm going left 4, that really means I'm doing like a plus 4. So that's going to be combined in my parentheses. So my new function is going to have negative 2 plus 4 is positive 2. And then down 3 is going to be minus 3. So that's going to be combined with the outside. And that's plus 2. So instead of having to graph it all, we can just use this fun little shortcut if we remember the rules. Part B, it says, if f of x has a turning point at 3, -4, then what is the turning point of the transformation where g of x equals x minus 5 plus 6? Well, let's think. Inside here, what's happening? We're moving right 5. And this plus 6, we're moving up 6. So right 5 and up 6, which means I'm really doing like combining 5, combining 6. So we get 8, 2. So kind of visualizing the movement there. Cool. And that is all I want to do for today. I know there's another page of these notes, but I just really wanted to make sure you guys remembered the shifting left and right rule versus the up and down rule. So if you have any questions on that, let me know. Send me an email, I'll help you out. Or if you just want to hop on my office hours tomorrow morning because you want to see my adorable corgi puppy, that's cool too. So have a fabulous day, and hopefully I see you soon. Oop, I clicked the wrong button. There we go.